Hello, Nader here. Welcome back to Path of Exile. We are playing in the Harbinger League in the Fall of Oriath expansion, and today we're gonna run a tier 7 map, the Armoury. But before that, it's been a while since I made a video, or at least since I recorded a video, and I have been rather busy on the Atlas. So all the tier 1, 2, 3 and 4 maps have been unlocked. Tier 5 I have unlocked most of them with the exception of the Burial Chamber and the Peninsula over here, because I simply haven't gotten a copy of those maps yet. Tier 6 we've got the Canyon, we've got the Quarry, and that's it. Oh, we also have the Strand. So next up is going to be a tier 7, and that's going to be the Armoury down here. I have activated a Sextant, put it on this one so it affects the Armoury. So we can't get reflected damage for this one, and we get additional packs with mirrored rare monsters. So more rares to kill, which means more potential for loot drops. In terms of the builds, I've got this nice blue swirling aura around me, and that is of course a side effect of the Singularity Platinum Scepter. It's been raining uniques lately, and some of them have actually been useful for a change. So as a result of finding this, and someone in the comments somewhere mentioning Hinder as an effect linking things together, I have switched the build once again. It's closer to how we started out with. So we once again have a Wither Totem, which is going to be Spell Totem, increased duration, Wither and faster casting. So that's going to apply up to 20 stacks of Wither, maxing that out. If an enemy is affected by Wither, it will also be hindered. If they get nearby me, they will also get hindered. But either way, if an enemy is hindered, I deal 71% increased damage against them. So that is quite a damage bonus. On top of that, the Singularity, it also makes my spells a bit cheaper, and it increases my casting speed. So damage goes up. To make space for the Wither Totem in my gloves here, I had to move some of my other minions around. So Summon Skeletons, Raise Zombie and Raise Spectre are all in my helmet, only attached to a minion life. So there's no more minion speed, but minions are plenty fast now. And because I am manually casting the skeletons, and because my casting speed is relatively fast, now manually repositioning the skeletons, it is actually pretty doable. Have been playing around with this for at least half a dozen maps or so now, and I do like the setup. Most of the other gear has been upgraded in the process as well, so we're now sporting this lovely Necromancer silk, which dropped with 6 sockets, and which when alked actually got some interesting mods on it. So I decided to try and 5-link it, and that worked out. So we now have Dark Pact, Concentrated Effect, Controlled Distraction and Spell Echo, and those 4 together, as we know from before, they did plenty of damage, and by adding Wither, we added a lot more damage to it. So we didn't really need more damage. I'm currently doing tier 6 maps with just a bunch of damage mods and things like that, and I'm just mowing through enemies. So we're simply sporting a lovely item rarity support here, rather than a damage mod. Also, I did try, but I just couldn't get this socket to become green. I want Warlord's Mark over here to be red, and then one of these needs to be green for a Void Singer thingamabob. No, the green chaos damage support gem. I just can't think of the name. It's on weapon switch, but when I do, I lose auras and minions and things like that. But that would be a lovely upgrade there, because that gives you about 40% more damage. But as I said, right now I don't need it, and if I don't need it, I might as well get more rarity to get more item drops. Utilities over here for the cost and damage taken, so that's a Desecrate, that gets us some corpses, Bone Offering, consumes the corpses, makes us block, and Immortal Call makes us impervious to damage for a short while. Flame Dash, faster casting, Arcane support, if we cast that a couple times we get a small damage bonus that's stacked with everything else. And over here we got our Stone Golem, we got Convocation and Discipline. So there's a little bit of swapping around with your skills. If you want to recast Spectres, then you actually have to put it in a slot somewhere. But that works out mostly. So yeah, that's the build. We're using Le Hub of Hole over here. 4% damage taken, gained as mana over 4 seconds when hit. That's a result of corrupting it. I don't think it could have gotten any better. This one has some chaos resistance. Chaos resistance. Chaos res. Very nice elemental resists. +2 to minion gems. +2 to minion gems is basically just... If this were just a blue one with +2 to minion gems, that would be an upgrade over +1, because you just get so much from it. Getting chaos resistance on it, just better. And I think for the rest I have shown you all the items. Oh, this one also dropped recently. Sorrow of the Divine. This is probably one of the best flasks that could have dropped for us. It's a silver flask, so it's increased damage, consecrated ground on use, which gives you 6% life regen while you're standing in it. Increased duration, so that's always lovely. And it gets you Zealot's Oath during flask effect. So that means the life regen doesn't actually apply to your life, it applies to your energy shield instead. So you hit Sorrow of the Divine and your life and your energy shield instantly starts regenerating. Before that I was using a silver flask with burning removal, but the massive amount of energy shield regen you get counteracts most of the burning that you would affect anyway, and this just makes it more universally useful because it's a damage flask. So in combat you just hit it anyway to get that damage going, and in this way it basically just helps you keep your energy shield maxed out for much more of the fight, rather than it just draining during the fight from all the stray hits. And therefore, if there's going to be large hits that would affect you, you actually have your full energy shield to help you soften the blow, rather than having to tank it on your life and your mana. So that's this is probably one of the, if you're not playing on solo self-found, this is probably something that you want to trade for, just because it is so useful. But solo self-found, so you just play with what you get, and sometimes you really get some sweet things. But with that said, let's stop talking, let's start playing. I'm gonna play it unidentified, because I like it that way. So let's do this. There is an achievement for doing rare unidentified maps, and I'm gonna go for it, so every opportunity I get, I just take it.
There is no war, there is no army, only fear lingers.
This is, seems like a mild one. 20% monster pack size, that is 2 mods. There is nothing affecting my block, there's nothing affecting my evasion over here, and we're getting attacked by spiders. There's no mana regen. Oh, that is interesting. Good thing I have my flasks with me. So that also means no natural life regen, of course. That's the counterpart usually. Okay, this is the first time I'm playing with no regen mods, so that is lovely. But as you see, we're killing things plenty fine. And we of course have a screen of minions to tank most of the damage for us. And well, they don't really need to regenerate all that much, do they? Jeweler's Strongbox, increased quantity, Ice Nova, 3 rares, 5 additional items, that is lovely. Let's put a Wither Totem there, and then just get the heck out and set a screen off. Oh, there's a Herald of Thunder, something in there. And you, Stray, Thingamabob. Hubris. Okay. It's one of the, still one of the things, I keep saying it, but that's because I still think of it that way. The fact that you can play this build at the ranges you want definitely helps. So no map like this that's a bit more dangerous. I just play it more ranged. You just hang back a little bit more, let the minions tank a little bit more. On the other hand, doesn't really matter. Energy shield regen, of course, kicks in because it's not regen, it's restoration, or I don't know, it has a different name, so it's not affected here, which is wonderful. For life, we have Leech. For mana, we have Leech. That is also one of the things that Sorrow of the Divine made me realize. If I shift my life regen over to my energy shield, I still have my Leech from Warlord Mark to refill my life, and that is most of the time, that is plenty.
Chaos Orb.
Oh, hello there, Chaos Orb. Now that the announcer talks about it, currency drops have been going pretty decent as well. I think I have over 20 Chaos Orbs, over 20 Orbs of Alchemy, even though no, but the all the yellow maps I have been running them as rares.
Gold without, gold within.
Shh. But now slowly building up what I would consider a small fortune. Of course, in the bigger picture, if you're trading, then of course it's nothing. But for solo softhounds, it's a decent stack. Still no exalts or anything else that's truly worth writing home about. But things like, on the other hand, the exalts are one of those things that as a side effect of them being the highest form of currency and something that's being used in master crafting, that's why they are so hyped. But really, Chaos Orbs have a lot more utility to for you most of the time. And Orbs of Alchemy are very useful as well.
Orb of Alchemy.
See? Just speak of them and they come. That is wonderful. I think in the end the map kind of goes from bottom left to top right, so let's actually just weave over to the other side to clear out some of the bits. Whoa, let's hang back a little bit there. Clear that curse. And let's get some wither going just to speed up the killing even more. Okay, losing some zombies. Good time to refresh them. Oh, hello there, purple enemies. Spirit walkers you are. So, by virtue of not having really played all that much in the bottom right of the map, I of course haven't really played all that much in this map. But it's nice, just as a change of scenery. Okay. Yeah, we were there. We just have a couple of rooms over here, and then we can keep pushing to the top again. Okay, just put a couple skellies down so we don't have to sacrifice our own life there. And while the minions distract the enemies, we just loot. As the minions can't do that for us. Oh, you, get away. Right, this miscreation with the... I was gonna say, I was tempted to go for it, but nice thing about having ranged minions is that they hang back, so they don't get themselves killed, so you don't have to recast your specters all that often. Because in a setup like this, where I've got more skills than skill slots, having to swap skills around all too much is just no fun. So having some specters that keep themselves alive rather well, they are worth a lot more than something like a Blade Vortex thing, which is just fun to throw into the blender. Okay. Oh, that's a lot of blue. Yeah, that's our buddies in from Harbinger League. Let's draw a line here. Problem is, of course, I can want to draw a line, but Harbinger doesn't really respect that. He just walks right through you. Okay, yeah, next wave. Okay, this is not a good plan. But Harbinger was just so passive, I figured let's jump in, see if we can provoke him. Well, that kind of worked. A toll map, that is lovely. Oh. Oh, okay. That's tier 8, wonderful. So, Undying Shades.
The Plaguemore watches you with a ghostly grin, waiting for a moment.
Plaguemore. Did load up on prophecies as well. Just to see if we can just put everything that was possible into this map. I could have corrupted it, but I would have maybe identified it, and well, the unidentified status was actually meaningful for me. Okay, so there we are. Next bits. Some stuff happening over there. Let's just throw some skeletons on and just barbecue them. Counter barbecue them. Not quite sure how that works exactly. And slow and steady wins the race. Though I must say, most of the map runs I've been doing, they've 10-15 minutes most, rather than my usual 15 to 20 minutes. So definitely going through maps faster with this map build, but the damage output is really starting to ramp up. And especially now that the summon skeletons is at 19, that is another damage bump. The last I checked in Path of Building, the total damage for the build was, I think we were hitting the 200,000 damage mark with Dark Pact 4-link damage, so that's what I'm using now. Cast on level 18 skeletons with level 18 Dark Pact. So now that everything is 19, I probably should double check it, but the damage is slowly getting closer and closer to what the numbers in the theory craft were. Because that for a while did confuse me a little, because the damage I was seeing, especially if you look at your tooltip, it's only only 10,000 DPS. But no, it ignores the fact that there's 3 projectiles and that it sacrifices a life of the minion and then amplifies that. The skeletons, they do have over 5,000 points of life. Okay, I don't think you are gonna do much here. Oh, actually there's rares in the back. Of course there are. It's always the moment you hunt a ghost, that's when the rares appear. It's almost like they're afraid. Afraid of ghosts. Was there anything happening here? No, there wasn't. Okay, cool. So let me just double over to the other side. Just to clear things evenly, rather than accidentally running into the boss and then having to mop up the rest of the level afterwards. Since that is never any fun. But it looks like the boss room might actually be up there. Okay, volatile, so that's gonna explode and then come after me. Exactly, luckily I am fast. 30% movement from my boots. And then Quicksilver, another 40%, but the fun thing is, because I have the, what's it called, Alchemist, I get a quarter extra effect from my flasks. So that includes Quicksilver. So it's effectively 50% rather than 40% on top of the 30. Makes for 80% movement speed when you have a Quicksilver on. That's rather lovely. Volatile, yay, another one. Okay, please get in. Yep. But yeah, so far this league has been going very well in terms of just enjoyment. I really like the build I'm playing. The map drops have been wonderful. And actually building up some currency, finding some relevant uniques. It works. Okay, that's... Alright, you, get out. Yes, thank you. There is a warmonger in the back, okay. Oh yeah, this one was based off of Gravices. Let's put a totem here. And then we just put everything up here. And he's gone. Might be that they have some chaos resistance or something as well, because he took a while. On the other hand, it's a boss, and bosses are really tough in 3.0. Though, not playing a powerful build like this. The bosses are easier to do than normal. But that clears the first tier 7 map. The reason I'm pushing a little bit more aggressively with the maps than I might normally have done is A, I'm playing on standard, so I can afford to. But also there's a little bit of logic that I never really thought about, because I was always just so concerned with slowly ascending through the map. But the thing is, map bosses can drop up to 2 levels higher than themselves. So if you're playing a tier 7 map, then the boss can drop to tier 9. But the thing is, if you don't have any tier 9 maps unlocked, then of course it is unable to drop a tier 9 map. And then the best you can get is one of the adjacent maps, which is probably going to be up to tier 8. So if you just a little bit more aggressively than normal push to like unlock a tier 7 and then just continue with clearing out the tier 5s, then every time a tier 5 boss is going to roll for a map, then of course there is this opportunity that you might get a copy of the tier 7 map that you have already unlocked, because it is 2 higher. So just having always just one map unlocked that is 2 tiers above what you're actually playing, it does help you with your drops. And no, you don't need to have the bonus done, so you can just play the map as a white map if you want in order to unlock it. You don't get the bonus, then you don't get the extra 1% chance to upgrade the map tier. But it will be part of your mapping pool and it will have a chance of dropping. So that is something, I didn't realize it before. Might be that everybody knows it except for me. But of course, no, once I realize things, I do like to share them. So yeah, I think that's a pretty good overview. So this is the atlas at the moment. As I said, I'm gonna try to focus on the bottom right, just do some maps I haven't done in previous leagues. And see, we didn't really get a lot of interesting drops. Let's see, I was talking about things. Oh, this is my current project. I hope this is eventually gonna replace my other chest. Reason for that, of course, hey, there's a chaos resistance on it, so that is kind of tempting. And then I can just craft some life on top of it, and then it's gonna be a glorious improvement. Actually, we'll lose a little bit of energy shield, but the life will be better, and the chaos resistance is gonna be good, because I'm currently at 32% chaos res. That's gonna take me up to plus 14, that's gonna be 46%, so that's nearly 50% damage reduction on chaos. The other resists, they are 25 to 30% overcapped, so elemental weakness maps are not having that much impact, so effectively that's a modifier that you nearly get for free. And slowly as the gear improves, eventually I will have enough extra resists to be able to ignore elemental weakness. Earlier I played a temporal change. We're plenty fast enough to effectively ignore it, so that is lovely. So yeah, and as we just saw, no leech is not a no regen is not a problem either, because we have plenty of leech. If you have a combination of hexproof with no regen or with no leech, then of course that's going to be a little trickier. But yeah, I'm very happy with where we are so far. Well, with that, I'm going to thank you very much for watching and hope to see you again next time. Bye bye.